Then on Sports Central, we go over our March Madness game preview and prediction on the round of 64 matchup between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Illinois Fighting Illini. Huge matchup for both these teams coming up here in the round of 64. You got two dangerous teams going head-to-head here. I think the winner of this game has a chance to go a long ways in this tournament, but you just got to get past the first round. So a crucial game for both these teams. We'll be going over a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today, starting with your team Trans. Arkansas lost to Texas A&M in the SEC tournament, 61-67. Texas A&M turned out to be the runner-up of the SEC tournament. So for Arkansas, they did win a game in the tournament, in their conference tournament, as they beat Auburn by 3, but obviously a somewhat disappointing loss to Texas A&M. But this team is still an 8 seed. They're in a good position heading into this tournament, but Illinois on the other side did lose their first game of the Big Ten tournament. They lost to Penn State, who had an incredible run in the Big Ten tournament. Penn State pretty much bought their way into March Madness because of their Big Ten tournament run, and they ended up losing to them by 3. So you look at both teams, pretty similar records. Arkansas is 20-13. Illinois is 20-12 as we look forward to the tournament. Games be on Thursday, March 16th in Des Moines, Iowa, and your tip-off is 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Spread's going with Arkansas here by 2, so the Razorbacks are favored in this matchup, and the over-under is 143.5. If you look at some stats between 8 versus 9 matchups, we've actually seen a lot of success with the 9 seed. Number 9 seeds are actually 76 and 72 all time against 8 seeds. So that's something to keep in mind here, is that, I mean, it should be obvious. I mean, when you got an 8 versus a 9 matchup in a big tournament like this it's more than likely going to be right about 50-50, and it really is. Just the 9 seeds have got a couple of games on top of the 8s. But if you look at recent history in the last 4 tournaments, 9 seeds are 11-5 against 8 seeds. We've seen most of the 9 seeds win in the tournament, especially in the last 4 tournaments. Stat comparison, Arkansas gets 74 points a game on average, allows 67. Both teams are actually really similar statistically when it comes to points per game, as Arkansas and Illinois both average 74 points a game and allow 67. But the BPI rank is different. Arkansas is actually in the top 15, as they're at 14, and Illinois is at number 30. You consider some impact players as well for the Illini. Can't forget about Terrence Shannon Jr. He's been outstanding this season, 17 points a game. He's an accurate shooter and rarely misses free throws, which is obviously critical, and you can't forget about Coleman Hawkins either. But for Arkansas, Ricky Council IV has been outstanding this season. He's been a huge threat on both sides, and he averages 16 points a game. So yeah, there's obviously some key players to keep an eye on. And both teams are known for having excellent defenses too, which is critical, especially in big tournaments like these. Most teams that go a long way are top 25 in defense and are excellent in defense. Now, both teams definitely are a threat defensively. And you look at Kansas on the other side of the bracket here. Obviously, it's going to be tough for whoever wins this game going up against Kansas, we'd assume. And so, I mean, I think honestly the winner of this game, though, they've got a chance against Kansas, despite Kansas being obviously a very talented team. Your notable games for both teams here, I mean, Arkansas has played Alabama twice, and they're 0-2 against Alabama, the number 1 overall seed, but otherwise they have had some success against tournament teams. They're 1-1 against Kentucky, 1-2 against Texas A&M, 1-1 against Missouri, so they have lost. They haven't swept any big opponents in the SEC, and they also lost to Tennessee by 18. But you look at Illinois, this team has played some big non-conference games. They beat Texas and UCLA. Both teams are 2 seeds in this tournament. Lost to Purdue by 5, but they competed right up next to them. They're 0-2 against Indiana, and they beat Michigan State by 9. So they had some trouble against Indiana. But, I mean, something to keep in mind, this team against big opponents really plays well. So in big situations, this team does come through, and that is something that is obviously crucial, is handling the pressure, and I think Illinois does a good job at that. Your key points, Arkansas 20-13. This team is brutal defensively. That's what this team is known for, is their brutal defense. And you consider for Illinois as well, kind of the same story. So, I mean, you look at Arkansas as well. They have had plenty of success in recent tournaments. They're actually looking for their 3rd straight Elite 8 appearance. I mean, this team has been in the Elite 8 for 2 straight seasons, and this would be their 3rd if they can do it this season. So they've had success here, just a matter of whether or not they can keep that up. but offensively, that is a bit of a concern. They're not quite as consistent there. But same for Illinois. Both teams are pretty similar from that aspect. And I'll say this, for Illinois, I mean, this team is one of the worst shooting teams in the tournament despite having an outstanding defense. So for Illinois, if this team can get some shots to fall, if they're consistent across the board for the entire game, this team plays excellent in the second half. We know that to be true. If they can have a strong first half, I mean, yeah, Illinois is a team to really watch out for. And, I mean, even in this tournament in general, if they can hit some shots and be consistent, I could see Illinois definitely going a long ways in this tournament. So keep an eye out for both these teams here. And, I mean, once again, you consider both teams with their outstanding defenses. If both offenses can get going, yeah, you got to keep an eye on both teams. But that said, let's get to the prediction here for Arkansas and Illinois coming up here in the round of 64. An incredible 8 versus 9 matchup. And in the end, this one's pretty much a 50-50 game, but I'm going with Illinois to get the win. 68-63 is my predicted final score. I do see more of a lower scoring matchup here. I mean, no surprise at all. I mean, you got two great defenses going head-to-head here. Honestly, it could be even more low scoring, and that wouldn't surprise me one bit, but I'm for sure taking the under in this matchup. The probability, I'll say Illinois 55%, taking the under and Illinois to cover the spread in the end. I just think, I mean, once again, if Illinois can hit some shots, I mean, this team is dangerous, and I think that they get off to a solid start against Arkansas, and that just leads them to an excellent second half, and they get the win in the end, 68-63. But once again, this is a matchup that could definitely go either way. You got two strong defenses, but in the end, I do like Illinois to get the win here and proceed on to the round of 32. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup, and I appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.